Hi everyone, joining me in studio is Juan Vadell Jr. of Vadell Brothers Syrup. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Well, I'm happy that you're here. Can you tell us about your business and how it got started?
Yeah, so my business is Vadell Brothers Syrup. My little brother and I decided to put into this venture together, and what we do is we make syrup out of the box elder tree. So I know it's kind of weird, you know, you think of box elder, you think of box elder bugs, but I tell you what, they have really nothing to do with each other. The box elder tree is a local native tree here to North Dakota. It is part of the maple family. It doesn't look like your regular silver maple or red maple or hard maples you might see over in Minnesota and Wisconsin, but it is a maple tree that grows here in North Dakota naturally, and it has adapted to live here in North Dakota. So, you treat it just like a regular maple. So you tap it, you let the sap run out of it, and then you boil it until it's syrup.
So how did you even get into making maple syrup?
So I spent a few years as a historical interpreter at the Lewis and Clark Interpretive Center, and when I was flipping through some books looking for what type of wood the Native Americans were using for their horse bows. It's like a short, compact, very powerful bow. Some families would dig trenches in the box elder tree, and they would wait for it to well up, and then they would drink the liquid that welled up out of it. And I looked into it, and it turns out that box elder tree was part of the maple family. You could use it just like a maple, and even back in those days, they were boiling it down to like a nice, sweet, sticky substance for like treats and for trading.
That's so neat. So typically, how long does it take you to make a batch?
To make a batch, it's probably going to take me 3 or 4 weeks. So that's from tapping the tree to letting it run, giving the tree time to, put forth its sap. Sometimes Mother Nature is not agreeing with me, and sometimes it is, but the tree still doesn't run, so Mother Nature kind of works on her own time when it comes to this. So you let it run, and then you have to boil it, and then usually you keep boiling it as you get more and more. And so usually by the end of the season, I have, with my 100 trees that I have tapped, ends up usually being about 5 to 10 gallons of syrup. So
wow.
it is quite labor intensive. You're looking at a ratio of 35 or 40 to 1 when you get sap to syrup.
Tell me about the different flavors that you offer.
I just do the maple, so I'll sell about 5 to 10 gallons of maple at the North Prairie Farmers Market in the summer. But when the maple season's over, I do have a variety of very nice North Dakota flavors of syrup. Now these are mixed with sugar, so it's not, the natural maple, but it is basically sugar water and fruit. So I start off with lilac, and lilac is a very popular one. A lot of people don't realize lilac is an edible flower. It's an edible plant, so you can actually make a tea out of the flower, and then I convert that into syrup. Once we start getting into the summer, I'll offer an aronia berry. Now, aronia berry is a berry that a lot of people haven't heard of. It is one of the highest antioxidant fruits we have in North America here. I get these from a farm over by Fargo, and it's a really nice, dark purple berry that's kind of somewhere between being like blackberry. It's a really, really nice, very unique flavor, and it's unique to North Dakota. And then once fall kind of starts setting in, I'll go into apple cider. So I'll harvest apples, and then I'll press them into juice, and then I make the juice into syrup.
Wow, you mentioned some very delicious flavors. Which one is your favorite?
My favorite is probably the maple. The maple is, it's not like the maple you're gonna taste over in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Vermont, kind of in that maple belt. The flavor is different due to a variety of reasons. One is our soil type, so they have a very acidic soil over there, and we have a very basic and clayey soil over here. We also have more drought over here than they do over there, so that changes the flavor a lot as well. So instead of like that hard kind of punch you in the face maple flavor, it's more like a light vanilla and butterscotch, and it's even a lot lighter in color and in taste than what you're gonna find over even in Minnesota.
That sounds delicious. So how can our viewers contact you to purchase some, or?
Yes, you can visit my Facebook page, Vadell Brothers Syrup. I will be at the North Prairie Farmers Market. Of course, starting around July 4th is when they usually start that off. So all of my trees, I have about 100 trees tapped, and they're out up at Cupbank Farms, up in Upham, North Dakota. And they actually open their farm up in the summer as well, so they have a huge garden out there. They're one of the main producers at North Prairie Farmers Market. So you can go out there and you can self-pick as well. You can visit my trees. You can look at, all the trees that I tap. Yeah, there's about 200 of them out there, and they have a big raspberry patch, and they have basically a place where you can go and pick whatever you'd like.
Thank you, Juan, so much for joining us. That was super informative.
It was my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for being here.